Hey Narwhals, I'm your host Luke Narwhal. Hope you enjoy this one. Let's dive right in. Serious, morbidly obese Redditors, what are some daily struggles that you face that a slim person wouldn't know about? I was over 500 pounds and a 66 plus inch waist at my heaviest. Now currently sitting around 340 and a 48 to 50 inch waist, aiming for 220 pounds. It's been better than it was when I was over 500 pounds. However, I wear an undershirt, a shirt, and a hoodie pretty much whenever I'm out in public to hide my figure, which doesn't help much in the warmer periods of the year where my added weight acts like a permanent winter coat, and whenever I come from an 80 plus degree day, I look like I just got out of the pool swimming. I look forward to the day where I can just wear a simple t-shirt without having the feeling like everyone who glances my way is judging me for my size and silently praying that male bras become a thing before I leave the house next time around. I used to be morbidly obese. I think the hardest thing for me was my enablers. Oh no, you look great. You're perfect the way you are. You carry your weight well. The important thing is that you're happy. And other similar crap is what I heard constantly. If I ever brought up wanting to lose weight, suddenly I was bombarded with messages of love, meaning food, because love equals food, sarcasm, and not giving in to society standards. I was pre-diabetic, but I was being told it was fine to go ahead and have a second or third helping and to just ignore the negativity, never mind that the negativity was warning signs that I was headed to an early grave. My body was falling apart on me at the age of 24, and I was less mobile than my 80-year-old grandpa. But all I was told was that I was perfect the way I was. I was basically drowning my own body and desperately needed help, but no one would cut the BS and give me the tools I needed. Eventually, I decided to stop relying on others and do it myself. I began researching nutrition on my own. I tracked every ounce of food that went into me, which was easier than I thought. I got more active. I changed my relationship with food. I forced my boyfriend to be my weight loss buddy. Mofo was heavier than me and had the worst sleep apnea ever. I kept my mouth shut for the bulk of my weight loss, but my boyfriend isn't as reserved as I am. He had no qualms telling people what we were doing when they noticed us wearing old clothes that hadn't fit in years. How can you deprive yourselves like that? Don't listen to him, he should love you the way you are. Are you sure you don't want insert sugary dessert here? It won't last, you'll be back. I lost over 100 pounds, fueled entirely by spite and good decisions. I'm always cold now because of my lower body fat, and there's not a lot of clothes for smaller guys like me, but I like being able to use the bathroom properly and not constantly having to check if I smell like BO from all the sweating. Too long didn't read, people were actually too nice to me, and it almost killed me. Finding clothes is a huge friggin' struggle. I have to move my friggin' fat rolls when I sit on a toilet to take a crap, like spread my butt and move the fat on my legs and thighs. Can't reach behind me to wipe anymore. Luckily, I'm flexible and learned to go in front and wipe. Wanting to squeeze through something, like cars, so I turned sideways. Oops, that makes no difference. I can't fit through that. When I still went to school, the desks were uncomfortable because my belly was stabbed with the table part of the desk. No one wants to stand near me on an escalator, and people look around in the elevator like, please don't break the elevator, fatty. We have families. I don't think they're being real rude about that. It's more like looking at the weight limit and then looking back at me. I do the same thing when other fat people come in, not really being mean or anything. It's one thing getting on a roller coaster and seeing that the bars won't fit, so you get off. It's another thing when they just look you up and down and say, you're a little too big. If you start losing weight and need a belt for your clothes, well, I can't find any friggin' belts still big enough for my fat friggin' bum. Down to 290 pounds now, can actually find belts now. Seating anywhere, like, oh god, I'm so sorry my fat rolls are just falling out all over you. I don't know if people don't freak the frig out, but without it being gross, it's still like, you're in my space now, this is uncomfortable, like on airplanes or something. Uncomfortable for them and for me. Sharing a bed with anyone is impossible, if it's like a twin or even a queen for some. When you wrestle someone, you gotta stop, like, can you breathe? I'm so sorry, Tommy. I'm female, 21, 6'3", and honestly, I have no idea what I weigh. The last time I stepped on a scale was a few weeks before I turned 19, and at that point, I was pushing very close, or a little close, to 400 pounds. I can only imagine what I'm at now, but I know I'm 2 or 3 pant sizes bigger. I'm morbidly obese, I know that, but I also know that I'm a little bit luckier than some of the people on here. My weight proportions itself very well on my frame, making me look smaller than I actually am, and letting me do things other people my size wouldn't be able to do. I count myself lucky that I don't have most mobility problems, even if I do resemble the Stay Puffed Marshmallow Man rather than the young woman in her 20s. Of course, for me, there's plenty of struggles too, some that people don't realize. People feel more entitled to your body and get mad if you respond negatively about it. Any compliment or interest is expected to be met with profound gratitude, not too much, and severe modesty. Getting a real job is hard, unless you're in a niche field or settling for something way below you. You'll find more criticism and negativity about your body from within your family than you will from strangers, especially if you live at home. You're not allowed to be positive about your body, unless it's framed in terms of weight loss or as a mexual thing. Though if you're scripted as the sassy fat friend, this doesn't apply so long as everything is about how fabulous and thick you are. Every action when you're in front of other people is watched on some level. It is used to judge you and lets people decide who you are without you even needing to say a word. Everything is about your weight, mental illness, physical illness, dating, friends, shopping, everything. It consumes your life. You can't have a lot of the things you want, and what you can have usually comes with a heavy price. You are your own archenemy. 29 years old, 5'5", 300 pounds. I was actually quite thin, 130 pounds my entire life, up until my lupus diagnosis in my teens. I had dangerously low platelets and was put on high doses of steroids to even out my blood work. In 8 months, I gained 150 plus pounds, and though my blood work was fixed, my disease felt like it was in overdrive. It felt like I lost my body and my life in just under a year. My immune system was trying to kill me, and the side effects from my various medications were just as bad as the symptoms of my autoimmune disease. Weight gain, teeth deterioration, toxicity, hair loss, bone loss, and cognitive issues. Throughout my 20s, I did manage to lose 100 pounds twice, but as soon as my lupus flared up, I put the weight back on. It's hard enough to lose weight as a semi-healthy individual, but as a significantly sick person, it felt almost impossible. I'm right back at my highest weight now after I went back to being sedentary due to heart issues caused by the lupus, not the weight. Every time I tried to be active, my heart would skip beats. I couldn't breathe, my blood pressure would drop, and I would start to pass out. It feels like the one thing I was supposed to count on, a strong, young, healthy body, betrayed me. These should have been the most amazing and active years of my life, but instead I'm being ushered from doctor to doctor, hospital to hospital, just to be told we can't help you. Every single thing in my life is so much harder than it should be. I miss the old me so much. I look back on pictures before my diagnosis and I mourn that happy, amazing girl. But I will never ever give up trying to lose this weight and trying to be a healthier, happier person. Even when I'm thinner, I will still be sick, but I won't let that stop me. I want my life to be easier and happier, and I don't want my disease to dictate every aspect of my life. I will say one thing that will always be difficult about being obese is the judgment from others. I'm less of a person in many people's eyes, just a burden and a disgusting thing that takes up space. I'm not that. I'm a wonderful person. I have a life with a great husband, a lot of amazing friends, and I'm worth something whether I'm fat or not. That self-worth and confidence is actually what made it possible to lose 100 pounds twice so far, and it's going to be the thing that takes it off and keeps it off this time. And that brings us to the end of the video, narwhals. I just want to give a quick shout out to 2 people who left a tip since the last video. It's never necessary, but if you'd like to, the link is in the description below. Shout out to Jalil. I apologize if I murdered your name. And they said, thank you for the videos, Luke. They're very informative and motivational. Enjoy your coffee and keep up the good work. And shout out to Alexis, who said, thank you. I feel like your channel has helped me lose weight, but also just develop better habits and a better relationship with my body. Thank you so much for the tip. I appreciate it. Thank you very much for watching until the very end of the video, narwhals. I do appreciate it. And until next time, have a good one, narwhals.